Is it still possible to generate money online in 2024? Short answer is yes, 100% is still possible to generate money in 2024. Now, who am I to speak on this topic? I've generated over 7 figures as an entrepreneur. I'm only 24, and for myself, it was a journey for sure. And my journey is gonna look different than your journey, but I'm here to tell you that it is still possible. When I first started generating money online, I was 17 years old and I was still in high school. And when I came to school, I knew that there was a different way to do things because I would see people with Lamborghinis or with fancy things, and I would look online and see like, what kind of jobs pay this much? And most high-end or higher paying jobs would cap out at a certain period at like $10,000, $20,000. That's where they'd really cap out at. And I'm like, you can't afford a Lamborghini on $20,000 a month or get all these nice things at $20,000 from a high paying job. So I always knew that there was a different way of doing things. So from there, I began to research and try to figure out how can I do it differently. And I remember when I was super young, I was probably like 8 years old, I Googled, how can I make money online? Because I always saw the internet as this special thing that could do so much. It's what connected people. And I always knew from a young age that business is literally just people connecting with people. Think of any business, anywhere. It's gonna be somebody paying someone for something. There's a value exchange that happens there. And I always knew that when it came to working a job, that the value exchange was limited. So I would look into it and I would see what can I do to generate money. So I remember starting off, I cut grass or I even shoveled a little bit, try to get some extra money. And I knew that wasn't what was gonna take me to where I wanted to become. However, I knew that if I was gonna get to where I wanted to be, I wasn't gonna work for anybody else. It just wasn't in the cards. It didn't make any sense. And that's a thought that I've had and a topic that's been on my brain from a very, very young age that I continued to nurture and grow. And it wasn't until about high school, I think it was senior year, even before that, I tried doing this YouTube thing. I had different channels before that I wanted to grow because I thought that was maybe the way that I would, become a full-time entrepreneur. And it wasn't what I originally decided to do as a full-time thing in terms of my entrepreneurship. And really where it started for me, where I made my first dollar online, was through e-commerce. I remember I set up a clothing brand in high school through e-commerce, through Shopify. And I remember setting this thing up and setting up my ads and everything else on top of that. And I remember just looking at the Facebook marketing page and had all my ad stuff set up already. I created ads, I had products sourced and everything like that. I even went as far as ordering the products beforehand and taking pictures of them and really trying to do it like I thought it was done. But at that point I had stopped, I had froze because I didn't know what to do next, even though I had everything, all the boxes were checked off. And I remember talking to my brother and he was like, hey, why haven't you launched yet? You're just sitting there looking at nothing. And it wasn't until he actually sent me an e-transfer for the ad budget that broke down that barrier for myself to get started. I was stuck in a state of analysis paralysis where I thought there was more to do when there really wasn't. And it wasn't until I took that action where I actually pulled trig and got what I needed to get done in terms of literally just launching the campaign. It was a matter of a few clicks and I made my first dollar online. I remember when my first sale hit, I was working for a furniture company at the time, and I remember I was moving a bed or a couch or something in the warehouse because someone came in for a pickup. And I heard this noise on my phone that I haven't heard before. It was like a ka-ching noise. And for those that know, it's the Spotify sales sound. I'm not sure if it's still the same, but that was the sound that I first heard. And I didn't know what it was. I finished doing that pickup and everything. I looked at my phone and it was literally more than I made that entire weekend working on my part-time job, moving furniture. And from there, I knew that, okay, for sure, this is definitely the path that I want to take. And what I learned from that experience was I need to start to take action on what I want to do a lot sooner, because I could have done that maybe a month previous, but I remember I was stuck in this state of I didn't think there's more to do, but there really wasn't. The thing I needed to do was literally just take action. And once I took that action, I was able to fully understand the feeling of making money online. Now, e-commerce isn't what I do right now. What I do now is I have a few businesses, but one of my main businesses is short-term rentals. I have arbitrage and management deals that I run currently, and that's what's been able to get me to become a full-time entrepreneur. And when it comes to the journey, the way that my journey started, and understanding that I need to start minimizing the time between an idea and action. Once I realized that was one of the key factors to becoming an entrepreneur and making money online, it really started to happen. I started to understand things differently, and that's when my learning process really began. From my e-commerce, I started to develop skills, and the skills that I learned from there were the ones that I started to develop and grow upon to get me to where I'm at now. And really the biggest thing you can do for yourself is to get started. If you want to start making money online, you got to find something, but don't overanalyze it. Don't overthink it. Find something that you have interest in and get started with it. From there, you'll start to learn what you're good at, what you're not good at, what works, what doesn't work. And from there you grow, and eventually you'll get to the point where you want to be. And obviously, if you're watching this video, is you want to start making money online, and the best advice I can give you is find something and then get started. Maybe what I do is different than what you want to do, but the commonality that we have together is that you want to make money online. Whether that's through e-commerce, which still works to this day. I know there's a lot of videos saying, oh, it's dead. Even in my industry, in short-term rentals, people are saying, oh, short-term rentals are dead, which they're not. You have to just begin. Maybe what you first start off with may not be what you continue to go with, but from there you start to develop the skills you need to actually get you to where you want to become. One of the things that I keep in mind all the time is it's not a matter of where you want to be, it's a matter of the journey. It's the journey that really molds you and gets you to where you want to be. However, the end goal honestly starts to move further and further and further. I remember I wanted to generate $10,000 as an entrepreneur. That was my big thing. Oh, I want to make 10 grand. Once I make 10 grand a month, everything is going to be, cake and ice cream. And once you hit those milestones, you realize that you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. And you start to understand that your goals probably aren't big enough. But until you have some sort of goal and you make it known to yourself that it's possible, you can't push that goal. So if you want to start making money in 2024, I would say find a business model, any business model that you have interest in, and just start with it. Start with it, you'll learn what to do, you'll learn how to grow, and then you'll develop the skill set you'll need, and the journey honestly becomes easier and easier. It doesn't get easier actually, you just get better. You get better at handling objections, whether it's in a sales environment, because a lot of it is going to be, a peer-to-peer thing. It's you talking to people. That's all business is. It's a transactional thing. It's you providing value. Right? Whether it's you developing your objection handling skills or your organization skills, because you got to be really organized when it comes to running a business, because you got to know how much profit you have and so on and so forth. So my advice to you, if you want to start making money online, is honestly just get started. Figure it out as you go. Develop the skill sets you need to get to where you want to go. But where you want to go is always going to keep moving, and what really matters is who you become.